Find the volume of the solid formed by revolving the region bounded by the curves y equals negative x plus 2, x equals 0, and y equals 0 around the x-axis. Leave this answer in terms of pi. So this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with this equation right here graphed out, right? Okay, so what's going to happen is we're going to take this line, we're going to spin it around the x-axis, and by spinning it around the x-axis, we are creating essentially a cone that is going to be a solid shape. Okay, that's what we're doing here by spinning this around the x-axis. This method is called the disk method. And the disk method is calculated by taking the integral from your lower limit, we'll figure that out in a minute, to your upper limit, we'll figure that out in a minute, times pi times f of x squared. Now essentially what we're doing is we're saying pi times f of x squared. F of x, that black line right there, acts as a radius at different spots of our equation. So if you're looking at this and thinking, wait a minute, if f of x is like a radius, isn't that pi r squared? Isn't that the area of a circle? Yes, it is, because we're spinning something around. And when we take the integral of an area, we're finding the volume. So essentially what we're doing this is we're cutting this into infinite amount of circles, stacking them up as if they're disks stacked on top of each other, and calculating the volume that way. So what we need to do is we need to find our limits before we do anything. Now our limits are going to be from 0 to 2. How do I know that's 2? Well, I need to find out what my 0 is, and my 0 is found by taking u, setting that equal to 0. So if I have negative x plus 2, set it equal to 0, add x to both sides, 2 is going to be my other limit. Okay, so I'm caring about this cone essentially from 0 to 2. So I'm going to set the integral from 0 to 2, pi times that function f of x, negative x plus 2 squared dx. So before I do anything, let's rip out that pi, okay, because it's a constant, or coefficient. This is a perfect square trinomial, so if you were to FOIL that out or do the whole perfect square things, you would get x squared minus 4x plus 4 dx. And now we can integrate. Okay, pi still lives out there. The integral of x squared is 1/3 x cubed. The integral of negative 4x is going to be negative 2x squared. And the integral of 4 is going to be 4x. Ooh, that was a close one. Oh boy, that was a close one. That was a close one. That was a close one. My limits are still 0 and 2. So let's plug stuff in. Pi times 1/3 2 cubed minus 2 times 2 squared, another close one, plus 4 times 2. Let's use common sense. If I were to plug in 0, I would get 0 minus 0 plus 0, which is 0 times pi is 0, so you're 0. We're not going to lose sleep over that. So now it's just a matter of doing that little bit of math right there. Pi times 2/3 is 8. So 2 to the third is 8, so that becomes 8/3. Okay, minus regular 8 plus regular 8. Oh, happy day, you cross out. So much crossing out. And at the end, we get 8 pi over 3. That's the disk method.